Hi everybody, David Harper here. I'm going to show you the equivalent of a 19th century laptop. It will make sense. It's like a travelling workstation for a busy professional who was troopsing around the world, because this is an international piece circa 1880. Follow me. Yeah, I think this is a cracking thing, made for travel. I'm going to explain why in a moment. There it is. There is the 19th century laptop workstation equivalent of. It's Anglo Chinese, this thing. So made in China for the Anglo market, circa 1880. So a Britisher working, trading in Hong Kong, Canton, that kind of period, but traveling around and doing business. And this person was obviously doing good business, because this was a very expensive box indeed. So made from a Chinese hardwood equivalent of a mahogany, bound and decorated in brass. But have a look at the handles. Can you see how tight and flush they are? So this will lift out like so, for carrying, quite obviously, you can see it just there. But when traveling by ship or by carriage or on a horse, it would want to be folded flat. So it could be described as a campaign piece. So campaign pieces of furniture describe anything that was made for travel, to go on campaign, either a military campaign, or in this case, I would say more of a businessman's campaign. In other words, traveling for business. But it does a multitude of things. Just watch this. So lift up lid. Remember, I'm doing all this one-handed, by the way. Work with me on this. Look at that. Beautifully lined with silk braiding. This should pop down to hold documents. Hang on. If I break anything, don't tell anybody. Look at that. Oh, look at that. So we have a folder on the inside, and you're going to have to believe me here. If only we had smell-o-vision, because this is camphor wood interior lined. And camphor wood, even after all of these years, made in about 1880, still has a very distinctive smell. So that's how I know it's camphor. And camphor is very good for keeping insects at bay, moths, that kind of thing. So it just makes perfect sense. And a real indicator, actually, another telltale sign that this thing is actually Oriental, because the Orientals use camphor wood in a lot of their pieces. Then we have little areas here, wells, for inkwells, pens, stamps, that kind of thing. But watch this. This is a London lock, in actual fact, so it's quite interesting that Anglo Chinese, truly Anglo Chinese, made in China, in the Chinese taste with the Western influence, but the locks themselves are not Chinese locks, they're British locks. So locks sent over to China to be made there. Right, see if I can do this one-handed. There we go. Oh, now look at this as a workstation. Just the perfect angle for writing letters, invoices, very important, something like this. And this will lift up as well. Oh. You're going to have to believe me, inside there is a well, a big deep well. There'll be some drawers there as well. And one more go. Hang on. I'll get a pen. Right, I've got a pen, or rather a pen lid. Here we go. Let's have a look what's inside here. Okay, nice deep well for documentation. A couple of old rubbers in there. Good sign, this. I think I might have mentioned these sorts of things before. When you're looking at antiques, it's always nice to find pieces that have come out of private homes. This has obviously come out of a private home, not a shop somewhere where a dealer hasn't been able to sell it and bungs it into auction to get rid of it. That happens, you know, it just does. But things like that, evidence of rubbers inside there, show that it's come from a house. Now, you'd ordinarily expect drawers under here, but hang on a moment. Sometimes you have little hidden compartments. Absolutely perfect. Hidden drawers. Anybody who doesn't know anything about these things now or then in 1880 when this was made would not spot these little hidden drawers. Isn't that just perfect? The drawers themselves look like they were made yesterday because, of course, they've been hidden away in the dark, away from the elements. They've barely aged whatsoever. And I can tell you that over the years with things like this, I've bought many objects like this, including big bureaus with hidden compartments. You just got to know where to look. I should just go back on there quite easily. And once you do know where to look, if you're very lucky, hang on, there you go, back in, if you're very lucky, you find treasure. And I have done love letters, not worth anything, but absolutely fascinating. Gold coins, I've found them, plenty of silver coins, and once a gold signet ring. So, just a truly stunning, beautiful thing, which I think is today still remarkable value for money, even with a big estimate, which is, what was the estimate on this one? £400 to £600. Sounds a lot of money for these days for an antique writing box like this, but this just is a spectacular example. Which sold for £400, the auction bottom estimate. Now, thanks for watching, and don't forget, if you've got anything interesting I can feature here on YouTube or even sell for you, then get in touch. Contact information in the video description. Cheerio.